Greetings YouTube, Captain Machine here, back for another video. And this day we're going to be, today we're going to be talking about Delta Green, and also the supplements that came along with it. So this is going to be a 4-part review. So strap in and enjoy yourself. First of all, what is Delta Green? Now, Delta Green is a supplement for the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. So if you don't know what Call of Cthulhu is, go back to my previous videos and you will find a review for Call of Cthulhu in there, which is a 3-part review I did. And basically in that, it will explain basically what Call of Cthulhu is. If you don't know, link down below to Yog-sothoth.com, which is the fan site for it, and will give you a lot more information than I can. Also, link in the sub bar as well for Pagan Publishing, who are the guys who publish Delta Green and do a fantastic job of it too. So, Delta Green, for those of you not in the know, is a modern day rethinking of the Call of Cthulhu game. Now, it's not a new thing. Cthulhu Now did this many years ago, basically where they had Call of Cthulhu set in the 90s, and so is this. This is set in the 90s. It was published back in 1997 and won the Origins Best Role-Playing Supplement of the Year, and it really does deserve that honour. Basically, the idea is that it's based primarily on the spy thrillers, the alphabet soup, folklore, the UFO conspiracy, and also quite heavily based on the X-Files. The references are incredibly obvious when you actually read the book, and that's not a bad thing. It's an homage, not a rip-off. And if you like that genre, and to be honest with you, when it came out back in the 90s, I loved that genre. So I love this stuff. I mean, this makes me want to go back and watch all the old X-Files again. The problem is I know that the X-Files kind of sucked after the first couple of seasons, so that's the only thing stopping me from doing it. Now, Delta Green is a rather interesting product because it comes with a backstory, and it's set roughly in a modern day world. But it has no meta plot, which is amazing, because while there are adventures published for it, and there is obviously a general assumption that these things do happen, these could happen to individual people that have nothing to do with your players. As such, you don't have to play the adventures, you don't have to go follow the meta plot, in fact, and you can just make up as you go along, to the point where there are multiple theories with regards to where this setting is going to go. And none of them are being confirmed or denied by the creators, because they honestly believe, like I do, that it's an individual thing and you should go where you want your story to go. And that's a great thing, absolute great thing. No meta plot means no straitjacket for what you can and can't do, and we do appreciate that as gamers. Basically, the whole thing starts in 1928 with the raid on Innsmouth, which is where the US government, along with Navy and the Army, raided the small town of Innsmouth, which is in Massachusetts, which is the ending or the climax to the adventure Escape from Innsmouth, where basically they kill or capture all of the Deep Ones and the Deep One hybrids of the town, and they start studying them. And from that they determine that there are things out there that man was not meant to know, but quite easily could wipe us out. So they form a organisation, which I failed to remember the name for, so the name will appear here, who basically go around and stop these evil entities from wiping out humanity or corrupting it beyond all recognition. And basically this goes fine for several years with a very gung-ho attitude, with pretty much a official stamp of approval on it, although with a very high security clearance known as Delta Green, which is where the name comes from. And from there, it all goes fantastic until one particular moment where everything just goes tits up and the whole thing gets disbanded and thrown in the bin, and with the point of the president no longer being briefed on this anymore, there was no need to keep the budget for this organisation going, and it was disbanded. A similar organisation was started up many years later when the incident at Roswell happened, when a mysterious ship crashed in the deserts of New Mexico? Nevada, I think it is. I think it's Nevada. I'm not up on my conspiracy theories, to be honest with you. I do love conspiracy theories. I do love the folklore behind it. I do love watching them on YouTube and reading about them, but I'm not an expert. I just do it for entertainment purposes. So I'm not an expert, so don't expect what I say to be official or canon or even correct. And this new organisation was known as Majestic 12. Now, those of you who are into your conspiracy theories or your folklore for that will immediately know Majestic 12 is a very popular idea for regards to an organisation which works against the American people, but is based in America and run by the American government or something like that. My first experience with Majestic 12 was playing the Deus Ex computer game, which I do highly recommend to anybody out there if you like your cyberpunk. And the whole thing is rather entertaining mix of conspiracy and counter-conspiracy, because at this point Delta Green is just a collection of people that are left over from the old organisation and are just doing what they want as and when they can. With the death of one of their big higher-ups, a cell structure is formed. There are 24 cells in total, each one with a letter assigned to it, and each member of the cell will have a fake name corresponding to that letter. So say for example Cell D will have Agent Derek, Agent Dennis and Agent Dorothy, assuming that one of them is a girl. And you get the idea. The whole thing's run by Cell A, which is a very mysterious group, although you do get given information about Cell A in the book. You are encouraged, if you wish to simply change it, because you can do that. And Cell A is a very mysterious organisation which remains that way, so that if one cell gets compromised, it doesn't compromise all the other remaining cells, and it cannot compromise Cell A themselves, because they are very hard to get in touch with. They're very enigmatic, but they do hold most of the answers. Unfortunately, holding most of the answers in Call of Cthulhu means that you are the most nutty, so don't trust them to be too reliable. But the whole point is that you are recruited by Delta Green, who are now called this, as opposed to just referring to the security clearance, to fight the Mythos and unfortunately fight Majestic 12, because Majestic 12 are in cahoots with the Grey Aliens, which are obviously from the Roswell incident. Now there is a backstory to the Grey Aliens. I'll not ruin it for all the players out there, because there's a great backstory to them. There's a whole twist to it which you don't see coming unless you read the books, and it is very entertaining. If as a player to go through it, it's amazing. As a GM to run it, it's even more fun. Overall, if you like your conspiracy theories, if you like your alphabet soup folklore, if you like your USO conspiracy, which there is a lot of, and if you like your X-Files, then you are going to love Delta Green. Delta Green is so popular, it's got to the point where practically anything written in the modern day for Call of Cthulhu, you always have that conversation of, can this be converted to Delta Green? And if the answer is yes, how? And if the answer is no, why not? It's got that popular. There are some great material in here, food for thought. Even if you're not going to be running under as Call of Cthulhu, it is a great book. It has got a lot of other history to it. If you like saying running Dark Conspiracy or any other pseudo mythological modern day game like the Dresden Files or even Buffy the Vampire Slayer, this is a great book to go along with that, to give you some really good ideas, get those brain cells popping.